Okay, friends, welcome to Catalyst Conversations for a Relationship Revolution, where we challenge the unquestioned assumptions about love. We flip the script on what you've been taught and reveal the truths that no one has told you. Here, in these conversations, we unlock a whole new paradigm of partnership, one that anchors in consciousness and empowerment and results in the kind of relationship most people only dream of. So, this month, we're diving into May myths, and today we're tackling one that runs deep. This myth that love equals acceptance, that to love someone means to just accept them as they are. As always, this conversation might challenge you. If it does, good, frankly. It might make you uncomfortable, and it might just set you free. So stick with me, because by the end of the conversation today, you're going to see love and your role in love completely differently. And I promise it's going to change everything. But before we dive in, if you're new to me and my work, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jenny Wallig. I am an award-winning relationship mentor, speaker, author, and educator, and I am a disruptor, proudly called counterculture, determined to make the world a better place through more conscious and evolved relationships. Alongside my business partner and my soulmate, Calvin O'Seely, I am the proud co-founder of Powerful Love Relationships and the co-creator of our 3-pillar Powerful Love method, which is a proven path to saving, healing, and improving your relationship, even if your partner isn't doing the work with you. In these catalyst conversations, and really in everything we do at Powerful Love, the goal isn't just to teach you how to do relationships better. It's to redefine how your relationships work and to empower you, fellow visionary, to create a relationship that fills your heart and fuels your dreams. So, ready for that? Awesome. Let's get to it. So, this conversation is really important to me because most people have been taught that loving someone means just accepting them for who they are. And while that's a part of love, real love does not end there, right? There's a both and that is not talked about. So would the result of not having that both and part of the perspective is that when we accept someone, we equate it to like staying out of their business or letting them just be who they are, even if that means that they stay stuck, they stay in an unhealthy place, or they're causing harm to themselves or others. If you ask me, that's not what love is meant to do. What is love if not to help us all get lifted into our higher and best self? Instead, this myth, this assumption that love means accepting someone and its, counterpart, that like we're not supposed to want our partner to change, which by the way I think is a load of bullshit. We do want our partner to change. All of us wants our partner to change. Let's be honest here. And that's okay, because our partner change, we're not trying to change the essence of who they are. What we desire is for them to learn to love us better. We desire for them to be a better version of themselves. We desire to lift them up. And so there's like anything, there's an end of the spectrum that can be harmful and toxic and dangerous, and there's an end of the spectrum that is actually quite loving and revolutionary and expansive and good. And that's where I want to direct our attention. Okay? So when we normally talk about acceptance as what it means to love someone, what that often looks like is complacency, right? That you are kind of allowing your partner to keep going in patterns that are keeping them stuck, to stay at a level of evolution that is less than they have the potential for. And frankly, we do that because it's the path of least resistance, because it's easier, because it's hard to challenge someone we love. We don't want to deal with their defensiveness. We don't think we have the right to challenge them or call them in. Or, we just like, if we let them stay where they're at, they'll let us stay where we are, and nobody has to grow. And growing is uncomfortable, right? Growing can be challenging in and of itself. And we avoid those challenges, but that's not love. That's not what we're meant to do. Listen, real love doesn't settle for where someone is at, especially when we know that they could be more. Real love calls us forward into who we're meant to be. Real love is willing to challenge and disrupt and invite others higher, not out of control, but out of care, out of the relational intelligence that recognizes that we are all connected, and what is good for one, like what is going to be good for one is going to be good for the all. And if it's good for one but not the all, then it's not good for the one. Real love, in my opinion, in this revolutionary conversation, is going to stand for the highest good of all, even when that's uncomfortable. So here's what that looks like. It's not going to just collude with stuckness, right? It doesn't say that's just how my partner is. It asks, real love asks, who does my partner want to be? Is this the life that they want to keep living? Is this what's in the best interest for us and our relationship or our family? And then asks, how can I participate in supporting my partner in lifting up to that level? Real love looks like having the hard conversations. It's willing to say, like, I see more for you. I believe you can do better. And I don't want to sit back and quietly watch you sabotage yourself or stay stuck in arguing for your limitations, or continue this behavior or this pattern which is not aligned with who I know you want to be or what I know you want to create or for the well-being of our system. So we got to talk about it. We got to figure out what needs to happen to break out of this and to lift you up. As you may have heard in my last Catalyst conversation, and as I'm hoping you're picking up on in this one, real love recognizes that our growth and well-being is intertwined. That when I raise up and elevate myself, I raise you. When you rise, it invites my own rising, right? That when we thrive together. That my success and my well-being is dependent also upon you, because we're an ecosystem. Love is not a solo game, my friends. This is a co-evolution, a co-creation, and if we're gonna co-conspire toward anything, let it be that we co-conspire for the greater good of all, for our evolution, for our spiritual development, for the lifting up of consciousness, right? And of a love that stands in accountability and justice and fairness and inclusion. Real love is not going to confuse acceptance with enabling. Like I said in the beginning, there is a part of this that is acceptance, right? Like that we need to accept our partner as they are, and that's where we start. We can accept our partner as they are now, like with the radical acceptance of recognizing this is who I'm signed up for, and commit ourselves to, in the good of love, in our partner's best interest, supporting them with growing and evolving and becoming all of who they can be, and not sitting back and allowing them to continue behaviors or beliefs or patterns, right, that are not helping them. Real love is loving someone enough to like not be okay with them just staying there. So I want to share a story with you. This is a personal story, and one that was very, very activating for me, but really important for me too. I was at a dinner conversation with some family, and not all of my family shares the same beliefs and values, and this was around the time where Trump was in his first presidency. And I learned that an important member of my family voted for Trump. Now, if you don't know this about me and my family, my family of choice, my family of creation, and my own identities like intersect with queer, trans, polyamorous, interracial, blended family, unschooling, right? Like we are, as I mentioned, proudly counterculture in our relationship, and we believe in um, participating in the well-being of all people. And so to learn that this family member um, held beliefs that caused harm to me and my family didn't sit well with me, and I challenged that. I had the hard conversation, and what was most important to me about this was that I had another family member who was there who was like, well, yeah, I don't agree, but like it's his prerogative to believe what he believes, like that's not my business. And like, what am I going to do about it? And that was where I actually got the most upset, because the person in my family who took that position was a cisgender heterosexual white man, so a person with all the privilege. And I'm like, actually, your position puts you in a privilege that out of love for me and out of love for this other family member that we share, you would say something. You would not be complacent in not challenging his beliefs. I mean, granted, we may not be able to ever change that family member's belief systems, but we can. And it's one thing for me as a marginalized person to say like, hey, your beliefs and who you voted for, like, acutely affects my family, my safety, my rights in our world. It does harm to me, and I'm not okay with that. But it's a whole nother thing for as someone who claims to be an ally to stand up and say that too. Not out of desire to control or criticize, but out of concern, out of love, out of recognition of our connection, out of advocacy for those who are less privileged. This was a moment in my life I don't think that I will ever forget, because it became so crystal clear, and I became so articulate in that moment about what it really meant to love, what it really meant to be an ally and an advocate for those with less power and privilege. Another huge value of mine, and another big piece of, to me, what it means to love. And so I share this story because I want to expand this idea, right? Like, if we are just willing to accept another and say like, well, it's the way that I love my partner or my family member or my kid, so that's just who they are. But who they are is causing harm to them. Loving them means saying something about it. Now, I want to be cautious here, because I'm also aware that there are some extreme views and positions whereby, like, oppressing, limiting, criticizing, warning people that they're gonna go to hell, like that's how they believe that they're loving another person. And that's a whole other conversation that I won't get into, except to say that I worked with a family once of a trans teen who were very, very religious, and they believed that their loving duty as parents was to explicitly not support their trans child's identity. because if they were to support it, they would be condemning their child to hell. And I really struggled with how to help this family because those were the parents' real beliefs. But in reality, their beliefs and the way that they were approaching loving their child based on those beliefs was causing harm to the kid. So what I'll say about that is when we are trying to love someone based on what we believe is their highest good, we need to pay attention to our positions of power and privilege. And we need to listen to, especially if the person that we love is in a marginalized or less power and privileged place, we need to listen to what they tell us their highest good is. We need to ask that question again: who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to have? What kind of person do you want to be? We need to honor that. Love, my friends, is not always easy, as you could tell from this conversation. There are layers, there are depths, there are revolutionary like challenges that we need to make to ourselves and to those that we love, but it's worth doing that work because it's the kind of love that we need more than ever right now in our worlds, in our families, in our relationships within ourselves. Love is not going to keep you comfortable. It is inherently risky and vulnerable. And to ask something of another person, to ask hard things, to risk rocking the boat sometimes is the most loving thing we can do because it's how we get to be better. It's how we evolve. It's how we grow. Love is going to call you forward, hold you higher, and believe in your becoming. And when you embody this truth, you're going to stop enabling things that are harming you and your partner, or you and your loved one. You will stop quietly hoping things will magically change. You will stop quietly holding in things that you are not actually happy about and that are building resentment within you. And you're going to start leading the relationship from a different kind of love, from an accountable, courageous, conscious, relationally intelligent place so that you can create the type of relationship that most people only dream of. Over time, right, your relationship becomes this place where both of you can grow and rise and thrive and lift one another up to more and better forever. Because growth and evolution is not something we do once, it is a devotion. It doesn't stop until we die. Maybe not, maybe even after then. If you're part of our Relationship Revolution membership, I want to remind you that I'm going to be posting an activation prompt to help you take this conversation deeper into your relationship this week, right? The idea here is not just to learn and have ahas, but to get actively better at our relationship. So keep an eye out for that and for how you can move this awareness into practice and embodiment. If you're not a part of the Relationship Revolution membership yet, this is the space where we take these revolutionary ideas and actually make them practical and lived. It's a monthly membership where I want to, where I'm inviting everybody to move from like learning and awareness into application and real change. So you get weekly prompts, tools, monthly coaching calls, a supportive community with other visionaries committed to doing relationships differently, behind the scenes access to how Cal and I are living these revolutionary ideas in our own relationships, and free access to my Revolutionize program. So if this is something that you are interested in, if these conversations hit home and you are the kind of person who wants to do your relationship differently, better than ever, then I want to invite you to join. It's only $97 a month right now because you're joining as a founding member. And you lock in at that price for as long as you're a part of the membership. I would love to see you in. I would love for you to be a part of this movement. Just type revolution in the comments or send me a DM with revolution and I will send you the links to join or to get more information. And in the meantime, actually, I'm going to post the links too in the, just my eye is twitching all of a sudden. I want to post the links as part of this video. Keep doing the revolutionary work, and I will catch you next week for another Catalyst conversation in the relationship